Assalamu alaikum. Hi, and welcome to this webinar where we will be covering whether you should build a personal brand, why should you build one if necessary, and which of the two should you go for if you're only starting out, or if you want to pivot, or you want to change, or you have an existing business that is independent of you, but you feel like there's so much more you can offer by creating a personal brand, then this webinar is for you. I know that a lot of times we want to show up, be it online and or offline or whatever the case is, and it can feel quite confusing and overwhelming. You have brilliant ideas. Everybody has brilliant ideas, but usually it's in the execution that all of that changes. You have a great story and so many things to offer, but when it's time to brand yourself, to put yourself out there, to put your business out there, you find yourself thinking, okay, do I focus on my personal brand or do I focus on my business brand? Should I be the face of the brand or should I just stay behind the scenes? Is this a personal reason? Is this out of fear? Is this out of whatever it is that you're trying to do? it it has a source, it has a reason, right? You're also thinking, how do I stand out without being all over the place, without doing too much? So it's part of the reasons why we created this webinar, to help you solve this tug of war, especially when you wear so many hats. You are a founder, you have multiple businesses, you are a storyteller, you're a creative, you're a coach, all of these things. Or you've probably evolved from what your brand used to be and now it's different, and you want to sort of have some alignment between who you were and who you are now and the direction that you're trying to head. Or you care deeply about how your brand feels and not just how it looks. You also don't want to dilute who you are as a person or confuse your audience in the process. And one thing I always tell people is you really don't have to hide. You don't have to pick a side. You can build both your personal brand and your business brand. And what you need to do that is the clarity of where you are at right now and what to focus on. Once you're able to clarify these two and the direction that you want to head, then all of the rest, everything else comes easy, inshallah. Okay. So this guide was created to help you do just that. This webinar was created to help you do just that. It's not really about boxing you into, okay, I do personal brand or do business brand. You're going to decide that yourself, and we're going to get as we roll into it, inshallah. So let's begin. Again, we're always confused about, okay, should we build a personal brand or should we build a business brand? This is where we're going to do all of that. What you should expect in this webinar is that we're going to cover the difference between the personal brand and the business brand, understanding the unique roles of your personal brand and the business brand, the brand clarity flow, which is something that we came up with as a guide to help you determine where to focus on, and also real world scenarios of people and examples of how others have navigated their own personal branding reasons, and also a reflection journal where we're going to take a bit of time to look at five powerful questions that will help you clarify your brand identity and whether you're going for the personal brand or the business brand. Then we'll look at the next steps that you can take towards building those, and inshallah, we'll wrap it up from there. Okay. So moving on, if you find yourself right now, I want to know where you find yourself. Do you find yourself thinking, do I focus on my personal brand or do I focus on the business brand, or should I stay behind the scenes? Should I be the face of my business, or should I be just behind the scenes and doing all of that? Right. So, what is the difference between your personal brand and your business brand? Let's start with that because we need that to clarify both. Your personal brand is how people experience you. It's your voice, it's your values, it's your story, and the way that you show up. It's when they remember you. It's how people feel when they encounter you, both in person, both online, offline, whatever it is, even before they hire you, even before they buy from you, even if they are just randomly meeting you. It's how you feel towards others when you meet them for the first time. Your personal brand is. Your business brand, on the other hand, is the name, the product, or the service that people buy from. So this can be a separate name from your name. So it's not personal, it's business, right? It's something that can grow beyond you. That is usually what we use to determine that, okay, this can go beyond you. Don't worry, in case it's still confusing, but as we go into it, it's going to get simpler, right? It's how you present your work, and it is how it is experienced with or without you. If you sell a product, if you run a company, this means that how your employees deliver that service or that product has an impact on the business's brand. So that doesn't directly involve you, especially if you have those systems and processes in place, right? So, again, looking deeper into what the differences are, your personal brand is built around who you are, what you do, what you say, your values, and not just what you sell. So you, your person, you, that is the personal brand. That's why I call it personal brand. It cannot be built without your direct involvement. As long as you're not part of the picture, that personal brand cannot be built. You have to actively be a part of it. And one thing I like saying is almost everyone is a walking, talking brand. Because if your brand is what people remember you as, or what people feel when they think of you, then it means that you've always been a brand. So get that into your head, right? Your personal brand travels with you across projects, across platforms, and across your stages of growth. Whether you're 15, whether you're 20, whether you are 35 or 60, that personal brand, that you're still that one person, but in multiple phases of your life. And every phase would sort of demand a different type of you. And that brand moves with you. Okay. So it also helps you with direction and trust and influence over time. So all of that puts you together in one place, and you're able to see and connect with people at different times, at different stages of your life, right? It shows up through your content. It shows up in the tone and your perspective, your point of view, how you experience things, how you view life, and all of that. Now, your business brand, on the other hand, is built around what you offer. Who is it for and how it helps them? And this can be independent of you. It's a service, it's a product, and it is being delivered without you knowing who is behind it. Your own is the product works, um, it works, and you've bought it, and you don't really care who is behind. Um, all you know is if Maggie is not working, or if some other brand that you are buying is not doing what you want to do, you don't know. Oh, I know this social person that you can only know a person who works for them, but not necessarily the. So you can see that this is a business brand, not a personal brand, right? Whereas if it's something that maybe I am selling a calligraphy piece to you and you have a problem with it, you can say, oh, this is from Qalb Salim. This is the personal brand that you were talking about, right? So your business brand, I want you to think of your logo, your packaging, your website, and the client process, and all of that is your business brand, is what brings up the business brand. So it's like there's a what do you call it? There's a gap between, there's something between you, the person, and the consumer, or the end or the end, yes, the end consumer, right? It gives your work structure, systems, and scale because it's able to run without you. Now, again, you can have multiple businesses. You can have multiple business brands. So, hi again. My name is Qalb Salim Muhammad. This is me. And people follow Qalb Salim for his story, for his reflections, and the insights beyond just his business. His business, on the other hand, is Qalb Inc., where it's a branding and creative design agency, and that is a business brand. It is known for strategy, for design, and for transformation, even when someone other than Qalb Salim delivers it. So I hope this is making a clear distinction between the two. Now, more examples that we can look at is Aliko Dangote, who has the Dangote business brand, the group. So that you can see that the differences. Tony and Onumelu and UBA, Mark Zuckerberg with Meta, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, all of that. So that is you can see the difference. Again, bringing it closer to home, a personal brand, Sabiha, business brand, Chai. Dr. Uthman Abdul Rashid, business brand, BLC. Leila Ali Uthman, business brand, L&N Kitchen, L&N Interiors, I hope all of that makes sense now. So you can see that these are people with personal brands that have business brands as well. So it's possible to have both. But yes, we'll find out whether you should build a personal brand or a business brand. Now, moving on to the next stage where we're going to look at the brand clarity workflow. What should you build first? I want you to take a deep breath. Like, we're trying to unpack quite a number of things, and there will be a lot of breath. So every time you feel like something is overwhelming, just take a deep breath and calm down. Okay. So I want you to answer these five questions honestly as you can. Right. The first question is, who do people come to first? Because all of these questions, these five questions are going to help you to sort of determine whether you should build a personal brand or you should build a business brand. So I hope this is clear. So who do people come to first? Me or the business name? There are people who have businesses that you can even talk to them and you don't know that they're the ones with the who own the business, right? If you say me, it means that they trust your voice, they trust your story or your expertise. If you say the business, it means that they know the brand and not necessarily you. So again, remember that we're trying to see what should you focus on, a business brand or a um, or a personal brand. So I just want you to mark which one it is, maybe on your note, because it's going just two boxes. You, the business. That's how we're going to go through these five questions. So if you can just have me, or the business, the business, me, the business, depending on how it comes. I just want you to answer the questions. Okay. So have you answered this one? Who do people come to first? You or the business? Answer that. The next question is, can I imagine this business running without me one day? If you're thinking, not really, I'm at the center of the experience and people come to it because of me and I have to be the one who does it, then you pick the first option. If you say, yes, I'm building a structure and a team beyond myself, then that means you're building, you're building that business. So business brand, personal brand. First, if you pick the first one, it means that yes, personal brand. The second one, business brand. Now, third question is, am I building a community or a company or both? Put this down. A community or a company. With a community, you're saying things like, I want to inspire, I want to teach, I want to show up as myself, I want people to know me, right? As opposed to a company, I want to grow a brand that scales with systems and support and whatnot, and I don't have to always be a part of it. With a personal brand, you cannot avoid being a part of it. Okay. Next question says, am I offering one clear service or do I wear many hats? So, yes, are you wearing many hats or do you have one core service, which means the business has clear offerings that it offers to its customers or to that it offers to its customers or to its clients? I want you to remember that this isn't really about choosing one or abandoning the other. The clarity flow that we're doing right now is about getting clear on where to focus your energy on right now, based on your goals, the stage that you're at, and how you want to be seen. So, both personal and business brands matter, but they serve different purposes. And when you're clear on which one needs your attention first, everything would start to fall in place, inshallah. So, again, this is your fourth question. Do you have one clear offer or are you wearing many hats? If you are wearing many hats, it means that your identity spans multiple gifts and talents, and people come to that because of you. For example, I have calligraphy courses, and a lot of times people come to those courses because of my personal brand. While for Qalb Inc., where we run a design agency, or if I have a delivery company, people would go to it for the service, for the quality of the things that, for the timely delivery, and things like that. I hope I am making sense here. Okay. So the next question that you have is, do you want to be known for the work that you're doing, or do you want the work to speak for itself even without you? Be very careful how you answer this one. It's a tricky one, so keep that in mind. Do you want that to be the reason? Do you want the work to speak for itself even without you? Right? Do you want the systems, the processes to keep up even without you? So let's look at your results. I don't know if you were ever afraid of your school results, but let's look at what that looks like right now. So let me give you a quick story while we do a bit of computing on your end. What we're looking at is, oops, sorry about that. Okay. So, hi, my name is Qalb Muhammad, and I am the founder of Qalb Inc. and also the instructor and facilitator of the Unique Workshop. My own story starts with my name, and it's something that I haven't always loved, but it's something that I came to love as I grew up. I am a firm believer that Allah created each and every one of us to have a unique gift. To We were born individually unique with our differences, with our similarities, but a lot of times we don't know what that uniqueness is. And if we're able to find it, then it makes it easier for us to show up authentically as ourselves, be it in our personal lives or our business lives. And that is one of the things that drive our work, my work at Qalb Inc., or as a person. So you can see that there is some sort of balance. I have some clarity. I have clarity with regards who I am as a person, and that translates into what I do as for business, for work, and things like that. So this is just something I wanted to put out there so that next time you see me or next time you meet me, or if you come across any of my posts or anything, you should be able to remember that this is what drives our work. And embracing your uniqueness is one of the key ways to really stand out as authentically as we can, because everyone is kind of trying to do something to stand out, whether in their business, whether in their lives. Everyone is sort of looking for something to stand out, and that is what we believe in. And we help people do that through the services that we offer, through the unique workshop, through the branding agency work that we do, which we will talk about at the later part of this webinar. And I hope you're going to stick around. Now, let's go towards your results, inshallah. Okay. So, if you selected mostly the first options in what we have, then this means that you are in your personal brand season, and this is what you should do. If you're in your personal brand season, it means that you should focus on showing up as yourself, building your voice, sharing your values, and consistently telling them, using them intentionally. So this means that you have to get in tune with who you are, with what is important to you, and how do you consistently put that out to the world. Because you want to be known for a certain thing, and you also, it's a long game, right? And you want to do this building of this personal brand that you have intentionally, authentically, because if you don't do it, burnout would happen a lot faster, and you'd be living two separate lives, right? You should start showing up with more purpose, talk to your audience like you would talk to a close friend who believes in you. So this means that you lead with your person. If Because the way I'm talking to you right now feels like you're seated just across me, right? So it's in that same way that even if I meet you in person, it's not going to feel different, because I feel like I've connected with you even though you're not here. And a lot of times this is what people tend to forget. When they think of an audience, they think they're talking to hundreds of people. While that is true, everyone is watching this video in their own space at their own time, and you are talking to them in that instant, the same way that I am talking to you right now. So that is what it means. So talk to your audience like you would talk to a close friend, who believes in you, who listens to you, right? And then you can begin creating offers and experiences or products around your expertise. I am good at calligraphy, I am good at this, I'm good at that. So yes, then begin creating offers and experiences and products around then you can begin creating offers, experiences, or products around your expertise. And that allows your audience to work with you in a structured way. This is where your ebooks come into play. This is where your courses, your templates, that put you in front of them, right? That feels like, oh, this is a friend of mine who is teaching me one thing or the other. So I hope that is clear. Now, if you are in your If you selected the second options the most, this means that, or if in 5 questions, if you have 3 or 4 or whatever you selected the most, you that's what I mean. So if you selected the second options the most, then it means that you're in in your business brand season. And here's what you should do, right? You focus on defining your offers, refining your visuals, and the messaging. Your visuals are basically, yeah, the logos, the colors, the packaging, all of these things, and also building systems that support growth, systems that would help you scale the business from, if you're exporting or if you're producing 10, how do you make it 100? How do you make it 200? How do you make it 500? How do you put people in those places that would help do those things and scale the business with or without you, right? So this is now you building systems and processes to help the business scale. Now, the people buying don't necessarily care about who is behind the business, they care about what the product does for them. Okay. So you should also work towards making sure that it is clear, it is scalable, and professional. And most importantly, don't strip it of you entirely, even if you're not the front facing influencer. Meaning, even if you're not the face of the brand, your values, your tone, and touch should all still be felt in the business and how it communicates. Because now you're talking about, okay, a lot of times people try to say the business is separate, I am separate. But the business needs to have character, it needs to have values that it is driven or built on. And usually, who gives it that value? Who gives it those values? Who gives it that character? Who gives it that tone of voice that when you see it, when you hear it, when people talk about it, what comes to mind about that brand? The founder is usually the one who defines, or the values of that brand are built on. So keep that in mind. Just because you are not the face of the brand does not mean that you should abandon those values, those things. It could be quality, it could be, quality is the most common thing, but a lot of times everybody will tell you that they have quality in their products, but it's not always the case. So what you should do is really sit down with yourself and ask yourself, what are the values that you want to uphold in your brand? For me, it's professionalism, it's creativity, it's authenticity. So everyone would have their own combination of words. So if you find yourself in between, like you're not there, what do you do? What do you do? So I have something for you as well. What you should do is, you're the face and the founder. Practically, your next step is to create harmony, a sort of balance between your personal voice and the business strategy. Now, this is where, if you have both a business brand and a personal brand, this is how they come into place, right? This is where you share your journey. This is where you build trust through content by showing the real you, and then guide your audience into your structured offers, services, and experiences with a clear path forward, right? Think of it like this: your personal brand opens the door for you, and your business brand walks them through, just like Qalb Salim and Qalb Inc. Basically, what I'm doing right now is recording a webinar that is promoting my personal brand, but at the same time, it is also inviting you, the watcher, to the business brand, which is the offerings that we have, be it on brand identity, be it web design or brand strategy or personal branding. That is what this is a practical example of the 50-50 thing. You are the magnet, and the businesses are the houses where you are able to entertain your guests. Now, once you come to us for the service, we have a whole team that would cater to you. Now, that is you being attracted by the personal brand and then taken care of by the business brand. I hope that makes sense. Now, let's look at a few real life scenarios, right? Real life scenarios where, whether you're a product based business owner or a service based business owner, whatever it is, this one is going to be for you. Okay. So the first scenario is, you're a coach, you're a multi passionate entrepreneur, you're a content creator, you're a public speaker. What should you do in this sense? Do you have any idea? Coach, multi passionate entrepreneur, content creator, public speaker. what you should do in this sense is build your personal brand. Why? Because people connect with you as the person. Without you in that picture, all of it would not make sense. You cannot be a coach. You cannot be, well, as a multi passionate entrepreneur, yes, you could do that, but then um, building your personal brand will help people connect with every other thing that you do, right, as a content creator and things like that. Then the first scenario, where you're building your brand around your story, your lived experiences, and the way that you help others grow. So what you're doing here is you're offering transformation through who you are, just as much as what you do. And your path forward is to focus on building your voice, building the personal brand, building the message, which means the purpose of what you're doing, why you're doing it, how you're doing it, who are you trying to connect with, and also the building a community. And so basically you are the product, right? This is the first scenario. Now the second scenario is where you are a product based business owner, and you have a physical brand, be it in fashion, be it beauty, be it home goods, be it whatever it is, as long as it's a product and you're selling it, right? And you want it to be known beyond just your name. You want customers to trust the product experience, not rely on your personal visibility. Now, what you do in this sense is focus on building the brand's identity, the packaging, the experience of it, the consistency, and then putting systems in place to make sure that it's going to scale over time. Okay? Now, the third scenario that we have is someone who is a faith aligned founder, a service provider, an educator. What you do in this sense is you're usually known for, yes, you as a person, and then your brand is growing into some sort of movement, into some sort of company. There's a community going around it. So you're sort of starting with your personal brand, and then you're transitioning into a business brand, or into setting a way to create that business brand, so that when people come to experience your services, they experience it in a structured way, not just you winging things. Okay, so you build your personal brand as the foundation. In this sense, you build your personal brand as the foundation, and then you create a business structure around what you do. Again, this can be in the way that we're talking about providing courses, we're talking about workshops, we're talking about, right? So that's what I'm trying to say here. You're building your brand around your story, your lived experiences, and the way you help others grow. But at the same time, what you're trying to do is align your personal brand with some form of business structure, so that your story would draw people in, and your systems would carry that transformation. Okay, so that is the third scenario that we're talking about. So this is like the 50-50 scenario. So that is, the first one is focusing on personal branding, the second one is focusing on business branding, and the third one is having a hybrid of both. Okay, now I want you to again take a deep breath, because I don't expect you to have the answers immediately, but you can reflect more on these questions and see what that means. So let me give you a quick summary of everything that we talked about. And a quick summary is that whatever it is that you're trying to do right now is going to be a work in progress, right? The first scenario that I mentioned, where you're a creative, a coach, all of that. And then the second scenario, where you have a product based business. And then the third is where you are a sort of service based business that leads with a personal brand. So that is, in the first one, you have ebooks, you have courses, and things like that. So you are leading with your personal brand. Now, the next set of questions I would want you to, you can take a screenshot of this. The next set of questions I would want you to go over are these five questions if you want to find further clarity. What do you want people to remember you for, even if you're not selling anything? This is more for your internal clarity as a person. Okay. So this doesn't really have to be personal brand or business brand. As long as it's you, we're good. Okay. So what do you want people to remember you for, even if you're not selling anything? What do you want to be known for? If you're doing something, what would you like to be known for? If you stopped your business today, right? Ask yourself, if I stop my business today, what part of me would still stay the same? if I stop doing business today, what part of me will still stay the same? I know that I'll still want to be a creative. I would still want to make an impact with people by helping them, by motivating them, by helping them find their uniqueness. I would still want to do that. What is one small thing that I could do this week to show up more honestly and authentically? Is it a story? Is it texting someone that I haven't in a while? Is it what is it is that you can do to show up more authentically? Is it by telling your story as authentically as you can? Again, authenticity does not mean you should go and air your laundry. I have told you this. Don't go and spill your secrets. That's not what I'm saying. That is not what being authentic means. It means that you put out the parts that are true, but not detrimental to your person, to your brand. Okay. So the fourth question is: do I want people to trust my work, or do I want them to trust me first? Again, this would help you clarify what that is. And which one feels softer and more peaceful to me? Do I focus on me or the business? Which path makes me breathe easier right now? So these are questions that you could kind of go over just so you are able to find balance, inshallah. Now, your next step, your next step is, let's talk about what you actually need to do with the clarity that you found or that you will find, inshallah. If you have discovered that you're in a personal brand season, your next step is to start with your content, with what you're putting out, not your packaging. You start with with where your presence is felt, be it online, be it offline. Show up in the places that you're supposed to, that your impact would be felt, that is relevant to you as a person, right? Define what's your tone of voice, what are the values that you have, what is the message you want to put out to the world, and then show up consistently to build that connection, be it online, be it offline. It doesn't matter. Show up. That's another thing. And then you start creating content that feels aligned and reflects who you are as a person. Now, this is where most people waste years of guessing, and we shortcut that with a proven framework that we've used on so many other personal brands. And our packages usually begin at $1,000 or the Naira equivalent, and that is what we are inviting you to. If this is something that interests you and you want to build your personal brand with a guided framework with us, if you want to build your following, if you want to build something as authentic to you as possible, we are the ones, inshallah, to guide you through that. So there will be a link in the description below. You can click that and then we can take it from there, inshallah. Now, if you are in your business era and you're trying to grow your business brand, what you should focus on is the system that delivers that transformation. You refine your offerings, make it better, make the experience of the product or the service better, and position it in a way that would bring in the right people through your visual identity, right? And that is also something that we help with through Qalb Inc., where we help you build trust through consistency and clarity in your messaging. So we do brand strategy where we help you uncover what is your brand about, what are you shifting it towards, what's the long-term vision for it, who are you trying to connect with, why are you trying to connect with them, why is your work important to them, why should they listen to you, right? It's also about in what way should your work have an impact on the world, and in what way do you want to have an impact on the people that you're trying to connect with, right? And this helps you make sure that your business is really ready to scale and to give it an identity that attracts people. So it's that thing where you have a balance between who you are on the inside, who the business is internally, and what it is externally. And our packages usually start at $2,500 or the Naira equivalent. You'll find that also in the description below if that is what you're interested in. And then we can just explore the options. We have done this with several other brands. We have quite the limited slots. And if you are interested in seeing what our portfolio looks like or what we've done, you can always check out our page, our website. You'll find all of that in the description below. Now, if you feel stuck and don't know whether you should go for the business or the personal or any of our offers, or right now, whatever it is, or you just want to talk, you just want to find more clarity, We usually have clarity calls, and the spots are usually limited monthly because each one is a one-on-one type of session. So it's perfect for you if you feel stuck and unsure between your personal brand and your business brand, if you want feedback on your current brand strategy or your visuals, if you need help choosing the right Qalb Inc. package for your needs, and if you want expert insights on the branding problem that you're trying to solve. Whatever it is, all you need to do is again go to the description below and book that clarity call for $100 or the Naira equivalent, which should be around 150,000 plus. So that is another option. And lastly, you might have noticed that there were a few pictures of me having a workshop. So this is the unique workshop, and what we do at that unique workshop is to clarify and help you find your uniqueness. As founders who don't just want clarity but a safe guided space to apply that clarity, the unique workshop is where all of it comes into place. Right? It's perfect for you if you feel like you have grown but your brand has not caught up and it still feels small compared to the quality of the work that you do. If you're tired of second guessing how to introduce yourself or what to post or how to explain what you do, the unique workshop is for you. If you feel like you're always explaining your value instead of people getting it instantly or in the way that you say it, or you know that what you offer is really good, you're talented, you have all of these things in place, but people don't always take you seriously yet, or you want to have a shift in the way that you do things, but you don't know what the next steps are, come to the unique workshop. If you want to attract clients who see your value and are willing to pay for it, or customers who would love your products, come to the unique workshop. If you're looking for a safe, guided space to pause, to really reflect on what you're doing, and finally build a brand that feels right and works well, build something authentic, then the unique workshop is for you. We usually host this quarterly, so this means that it happens 4 times a year. And again, you would find the link in the description below, and that is what is going to that is your next step, inshallah. So if you have any questions or anything that you want to ask, you can simply drop it in the comments below, and inshallah we would get to those questions and we would answer them as diligently as possible. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, let us know in the comment section. Again, what was your favorite part? What stood out for you? In what ways was this helpful to you? Again, if you need any help, you can reach us via email, via our contacts. You'll find it down below. If you are in need of anything, if you need anything, if you pause. And I want you to remember that you really don't have to choose between being seen, people seeing you being out there, and being structured. And you really don't need to rush the process. Take your time, process things carefully, and then make that choice. And you don't also have to shrink yourself to sort of fit into that box, right? You just need to be honest with who you are, with where you are right now, and be brave enough to build from that place. Okay. I want you to think of your personal brand and your business brands as partners, not enemies. They aren't and they should not be fighting each other. They should not be at odds with each other, right? They are just waiting for you to lead them with clarity, with honesty, and as purposefully as you can. So whether you show up through your story or through your service, what matters most is that it feels authentic, it feels like you. So give yourself that permission to evolve because we are always a work in progress. Give yourself permission to grow slowly and to build something that feels like home and speaks to you, because life is short. You don't want to spend it doing the wrong thing, right? Your people are waiting for that version of you. And the real version of you, the aligned version of you, the one that is not fake, right? That's the brand we want to build together. Because we live in a world where authenticity keeps fading. And if yours is also part of them, then you keep dimming your light. And I wonder how many people you deprive from feeling that light of yours. So Building a brand is something that you can do as intentionally as you can. And if you're ready to build one that is authentic to you, be it a personal brand or a business brand, please check out our offers and we'll take it from there. Okay? No hard feelings. Just if this was helpful to you, like give us a comment, anything just to show us that you appreciated this. And I'll see you in the next one, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.